para desaparecer a las personas.
Ya reporté más arriba, ya lo reporté más arriba. Sir, no habla español. No, sí hablas español, lo que pasa es que no me quieres ayudar. No hay ningún otro policía.
Hey!
Made contact with us, started screaming in Spanish, and then just drove away. He's pulling up back now.
Run the plate. Hey, come here. No, come here.
Yo siempre tenía por policía, por los mejores policías de los Estados Unidos.
Do you speak Spanish?
Sí, hermano, no confío, me van a entregar con ellos.
So, uno momento, okay? But let's pull right here so we don't cause crash. Okay?
Yes,
so, come right here so we don't cause crash.
That's okay.
Here to help, okay? Come here.
I say here in Spanish.
I just know what he means here.
Look, you're in the road. You gotta move.
Ya reporté a la policía.
Just right there. Right there.
Watch out.
Alright.
Okay, we need to pull him over and get him out of the car.
Okay.
Just kind of... Will you get in your truck and pull him over?
Yeah, I've got you.
So is there any return on that plate? He's driving erratic, almost hit two of us. Go this way.
It doesn't seem like he's in the right state of mind.
Nope. Doesn't sound like he's stopping, so...
If there's any Spanish-speaking deputies, can you start heading this way? Break. We are turning east on 600 North.
34 Kilo 1. Let's terminate right now. We're not going fast, but with him out of the right state of mind, let's not push him into anything. Is he still in the car?
Yeah, 10-4, I didn't see him leave.
Stay back. Nikita, hold up. Hold up. No need to rush in on him. Was he in there? Okay.
He swerved and like I pulled out and he swerved like clear over here.
Oh, he swerved up over the curb?
He swerved up over the curb, hit the curb, and took off running. But now we've got at least one other car crash.
Anyone else in the car?
Hey man, that looked
You guys okay?
That looked like he was trying to kill himself.
Where's he at?
I don't know.
I don't know. I tried to swerve away from him and he was literally trying to hit us head on.
Okay. Are you guys alright?
My ear's a little
Control
rattled.
Forks 34, can you have medical respond for the secondary vehicle? Kilo 1, he said that van ran them off the road. You guys husband and wife? Engaged. It's okay. Alright, you're safe. Just take a deep breath. What's important right now is to control your breathing, alright? We need to slow it down a little bit. Okay, so just the deep, slow breaths, okay? I have medical. They're gonna come out here. They're gonna check on you guys, okay?
I'm gonna go talk to these people in the trailer park,
Okay,
see if they saw anything.
Yeah, I saw
Just
it all.
keep him close to you. Were you guys out here by chance? Did you see anybody from that van or anybody come running this way?
No. We just came out like literally 2 seconds after we heard the car accident.
You guys weren't outside already, were you?
No, we heard it from inside and came out.
You didn't see anybody come this way, did you?
No, we have not.
Okay. Echo 30, 4 Kilo 1. Will you head over to the apartments over off 2480 West? We got multiple people in the Sinclair side of SR9 that said he did not run over this way.
Oh boy. He's in somebody's house.
Moments after the crash, reports come in that the suspect has broken into a nearby apartment. He's now inside a stranger's home just blocks away, and the situation is about to turn violent.
Let's go. You, me, Nikita, stay with the car. Nikita, stay.
Where'd they say what?
We're 2480 West, so keep your lights on. Flip around. Down here, responding units. We're gonna take Riko in with us. He went upstairs, 250 North, 2472 West, 250 North. So go forward. So 250 North is right there. So we don't need the red and blues on. We don't want him.
4 Kilo 1, Echo 30, do you want us to hold off until you guys are here?
We're here right now. Stop, stop. Turn your lights off. Riko, hey. Good boy. Here we go. Here.
They need to get out here.
Will you tell them to come outside?
Come outside. Come outside. Oh, your kids are inside still?
My kids are
Where are they at?
My kids are upstairs.
Okay, where's he at?
He's upstairs at the very top of the stairs.
Okay. Show me your hands now. Show me your hands. Park him, park him, park him, park him, park him, park him, park him. Riko, 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 hey, hey. Come on! Come on, buddy. Hey, you're all right, buddy. You're all right, buddy. Control, I need medical for my dog. Come on, Riko. You're all right, buddy. You're all right, buddy. You're all right, buddy. You're okay. You're okay. You're all right, buddy. You're all right, buddy.
Where's the knife?
It's on 5 speed, 5 speed.
My children are upstairs. My children.
Just stay up there. Hey, stay up there. Stay there.
Okay, I'm there. Stay in the room. Hands on.
Yes.
Stay inside.
Don't come out. Don't come out.
Let's see if he has a pulse, just to make sure.
If I can get some light, I'm holding it. I just can't see shit. I couldn't see what he pulled out, but good boy, buddy. You're all right. Good, Riko. This is relax, buddy. Relax, buddy. I got you. Come on. I got you, buddy. Fucking badass dog, dude. You're good, buddy. Good boy, buddy. Good, buddy. You're good, buddy. 36 kilo 1.
On December 26, 2022, officers in Hurricane, Utah used deadly force inside an occupied home. This analysis sets aside the drama and examines one question: was that force lawful? Every use of force by police is a Fourth Amendment seizure, governed by a single controlling standard. That standard comes from Graham versus Garner, decided by the Supreme Court in 1989. Graham requires that force be judged from the perspective of a reasonable officer at the scene. Not with hindsight, but with the information the officer actually possessed in that moment. The court expressly accounts for split-second decisions in tense, uncertain, rapidly evolving situations. The second pillar is Tennessee versus Garner, decided in 1985. Garner permits deadly force only against an immediate threat of death or serious bodily injury. Utah codifies this in Code Section 76-2404. That statute authorizes deadly force when an officer reasonably believes it necessary to prevent death or serious injury to the officer or another person. Apply these standards to the facts. The subject was armed with a 6-inch knife. He had already stabbed a police K-9 and was advancing on officers inside a home with children. This is the paradigm case for justified deadly force. The threat was immediate and lethal. The Supreme Court reinforced this in Plumhoff versus Rickard, decided in 2014. An officer need not wait to be wounded before responding to an advancing armed assailant.
Can we get either the mom up to the kids or the kids to the mom?
Drill 426, suspects echo.
Hey, will you?
What do you need, Eric?
Bring my car over here.
Okay. What do you need, Eric? What do you need?
I was gonna put him in there, but I just heard the sirens. I'm assuming medical. You're good, buddy. Hey, did you shoot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're all right.
I did.
Hey, don't do that. You're good.
I'm good. I'm not
good,
hit.
man.
I'm not hit.
Okay.
I'm not good. You didn't get hit or anything?
No, I'm good. I'm
You're
good. I'm
Okay.
good. Good boy, buddy.
I'll go see if they need anything from in there. Hey, his dog's hit.
Yeah, dude. Good boy. Good boy. If there's anything I can do, man, let me know. Yeah, honestly, I don't see blood anywhere else, and I only saw the guy stab him once, and it looked like he was gonna come down more. He stabbed. Riko was on his leg. Yeah, at some point, I don't know if it was before. It was like right as shots were fired, he was coming down the stairs, and Riko let go and ran away as soon as the guy.
Okay, so it was a knife then, is that what it was?
Yeah, it looked like a pretty good size, like it was bigger than that.
Stay upstairs, we'll come get you in the bed.
Okay, do you need any help going up there with him?
They just want me to come and verify.
Okay, yeah, he's...
There's nothing we can do.
Okay.
At this point, so.
I think I've got the blood stopping. It was gushing pretty bad.
Light around here so I can see where it's at.
It was gushing really bad right here.
You want me to get life flight just on standby just in case for Riko?
I know the last time a dog was shot in our county, they flew him to Vegas, but...
Flew him to Vegas?
Yeah, so medical's pretty close to the same as a human. Obviously, he's 80 pounds instead of...
Can we get this off so I can see where it's at?
Yeah.
We should probably kick them out this door.
I'll go up there and I just don't want to traumatize the kids because there's kids on there.
Good?
Yeah, not even off FTO yet. And I'm already OIS.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
The second we try it.
You alright?
Yeah.
A separate constitutional question is the entry itself. Officers had no warrant. The governing authority is Brigham City versus Stuart, decided in 2006. Notably, that case originated in Utah and was resolved by the United States Supreme Court. It holds that police may enter a home without a warrant to protect occupants from imminent harm. An armed stranger upstairs from 2 children is the textbook definition of that emergency. The emergency aid doctrine, not a search motive, supplies the lawful basis for entry. Consider also what officers did before force was ever necessary. They terminated the pursuit. Terminating a chase is not constitutionally required. It is a discretionary safety judgment. But it frames the analysis. This was an agency actively trying to de-escalate, not provoke. The subject's own conduct, by contrast, was a cascade of serious felonies under Utah law. Driving a vehicle at officers is aggravated assault under Code Section 765103. Forcing entry into an occupied dwelling is burglary under Section 766202. The knife attack supports assault on a peace officer under Section 765102.7.
Trying to think of something. Married?
Yeah.
You got kids?
No, not yet.
Not yet?
I'm too young for that.
How long have you been married?
Oh, kind of 4 years.
4 years?
Yeah.
How old are you?
23.
23?
Yeah.
I gotcha. I know what you're going through, man. I'm there with you.
You didn't get hit or nothing?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Yeah, I only fired 2. I'm pretty sure, so.
I know, Riko. Come on. You're something
Good, buddy. You're good, buddy. You're good, Riko. I got you. I got him. I got him. Yeah. You're good, buddy. You got it, Riko. You're good. All right. Thanks, man.
That's the second dead body in my last 2 shifts. I just did one on Friday or Thursday.
So this is different. This is different.
That makes dogs okay. As soon as he stabbed that, I saw him pull that knife out. As soon as he did that,
Where are you from?
I'm from here.
You're from Hurricane?
No, not from Washington County. I grew up in St. George, and I just got out of the military earlier this year. So.
Gotcha. What branch were you in?
Air Force.
Air Force.
Did military law enforcement. So.
I'm in the ambulance with Riko. We're gonna go to the hospital.
You're good, buddy. I've seen this before. Never done it, but
you're good, dude.
We can give him an IV and just push it right here. Can you push on that right there and hold it in place?
Yep. Can you contact 1 Kilo 1 or 6 Kilo 1 and see what vet they use? I know they've used him on call before. You'll just advise him. He's lost a lot of blood. He's got a lot building up inside. You're good, Riko. Hey, okay. I got you. I got you, buddy.
Get on the radio and make a call to DRMC or get the dispatch. Tell them to let dispatch know we're en route with an officer stab wound to the neck. Just let them know it's a K-9.
Let them know it's a K-9.
Everybody good? Who all shot?
Just me and the county deputy.
Just you?
Okay.
You alright?
Yeah. It's all good, buddy. It's all good.
You're alright. It's dramatic as hell, bud.
It sucks, dude. He f***ing stabbed the dog. Stop Riko. You didn't leave me a choice.
Come on.
I'm not even on FTO. I'm not off FTO yet. like, come on.
It doesn't choose when it happens, bud.
You never think that.
He's holding them open. He's holding them open. They're getting definitely heavy though.
All right,
You're good, buddy.
It's
You're
okay.
good. You're good. Hey, you're good. Stay awake.
You doing all right?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah? Let me know if you need something.
Yes, sir.
Who you riding with today?
Eric.
You were with Eric?
I was with Eric, yeah.
And Eric's in the ambulance?
With his dog.
Okay. How's the dog?
I don't know. I know he was bleeding pretty bad and he stabbed him, but I don't know where.
You talked to your wife?
I haven't been on my phone.
You
They
don't
told
have
me
your phone?
They told me not to get on my phone.
Do you want me to call her?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
What's your officer's name?
Bogenhagen.
Bogenhagen. Jordan Bogenhagen. I'll tell you what. I'll try to keep you updated as we go. Okay. All right. Thank you. Bye. I was telling her, it's like I wasn't even emotional. And as soon as I start talking to you, I get emotional.
Yeah. Riko, hey, you're good. You're here, Riko. Hey, good. Keep those eyes open.
Now the grades applied strictly to legal and tactical conduct under these standards. Officer Eric DeMille earns an A-. He deployed his K-9 as a less lethal option first, escalating to deadly force only when the armed subject kept advancing after stabbing the dog. That graduated response is exactly what Graham and Utah law contemplate. Officer Jordan Bogenhagen also earns an A-, weighted heavily for context. A probationary officer held his position in a lethal encounter, and no occupant was harmed. Deputy Jose Rosales earns a B+, graded cautiously given limited footage of his specific actions. The subject's legal conduct earns an F, evaluated on the actions alone. That grade scores the felonies, not the man's evident mental health crisis, which mitigates morally. But mitigation of culpability does not change the legal justification for the officer's force. Several lessons emerge from this incident for officers and citizens alike. First, de-escalation and lawful force are not opposites. The same agency did both correctly. Second, the emergency aid doctrine is narrow. It justifies entry to protect life, nothing more. Third, an edged weapon at close range collapses reaction time, which is why the law does not require officers to absorb the first strike before responding. Fourth, mental health crisis intervention remains the unsolved gap that turned a welfare call lethal. The law judged the officer's response sound. It cannot reach the crisis that preceded it. Let us know your thoughts on this case in the comments below. If you found this analysis useful, consider subscribing for more legal breakdowns of police interactions. Thank you for watching.